192 what, Sean? Square feet. Nice. Does everybody know why it's 192? Okay. The shed is 96 square feet of area, yes? Because it's 8 by 12. The shed is 1/3 of my yard. So if this is where the shed is and it's 96, then how big are each of these parts? 96, and there's 2 of them. 2 times 96 is 192. How many people were fooled by that question? Don't worry, it's not for marks. Be honest, right? That's what's going on here, right? That's the difference between Math 9 and Math 10. In Math 9, we ask you, what's the area of the shed? And you're done. In Math 10, take some knowledge and apply it somewhere else. Everybody good? Yeah, all right. Next, how many rolls of sod do I need to buy to sod my yard? Which is slang from England. How much? 39? How'd you find 39?
I did 1 times 5, which is 5 feet squared.
Yep.
I got the area of 1 roll.
Perfect.
And then I did 192 divided by 5.
Yeah.
And then I got 38.4.
But 38.4 rounds to 38.
But realistically, you can't buy a 0.4.
Of course, you have to buy the whole other one. Because if you don't buy that 39th roll of sod, you're going to leave a corner with no grass on it, and then your wife's going to be mad at you, or your husband's going to be mad at you, or the other people that use the house are going to be mad at you. Or you don't care about your backyard. Like I don't care about my backyard because I live across the street from a school. And I sent my kids to go play in the field and let somebody else mow the lawn. My backyard is my dog's bathroom. It used to be a trampoline spot too, but then a tree fell on our trampoline. Well, the whole tree didn't fall. Just a big branch in the ice storm last winter. Tree. Remember, we missed a bunch of school.
My trees got ruined by the ice.
Yeah, I know.
It froze all the branches.
Yeah.
And then they started hanging down and it all melted and stuff.
Yeah. My tree was pretty hardcore. It made it through, but the trampoline didn't. And then I had to cut off a bunch of the tree. But it's staying strong. I know, I was very sad, Sophie. And my wife made me cut down a tree because we had a horse chestnut tree in the backyard. Horse chestnut trees dropping those spiky bombs of death. Yeah, she was like, no, that's got to go. And it turns out horse chestnuts, spiders don't like horse chestnuts. So because my backyard was full of horse chestnuts, all the spiders that should be in my backyard were in my house. I don't really care about that. Neither does anyone in my family. They don't mind spiders. Huh? Why don't they like horse chestnuts? I don't know. Ask a spider. No, they just don't like the smell or something about them. It's a natural thing to get rid of spiders, is horse chestnuts. I think my guess, Thomas, is everything gives off gas. I imagine horse chestnuts give off a gas that the spiders can sense and don't like. That's my guess. But that sounds like a question for Google. Gummy bear for you if you can come back to me tomorrow and tell me why spiders don't like. No, don't look now. We're doing math. What?
Do their spidey senses start tingling?
Maybe their spidey senses indeed start tingling. My German exchange student hates spiders so much he had to get my son to come and get one out of his room. It was pretty funny. I shouldn't have recorded that. Sorry, Sebastian. 39 times what? $2.75 is however much it's like $107 or some crap, right? Nice. Good job, everyone. Turn the page over. Did people do these ones, or do you need time? It shouldn't take very long. The first 7, 8 are easy. What's this guy? I'll just go around the room. Or no, you could volunteer. 2,000. Nice. I don't like writing in black. I'm not in a black mood today. I'm in a happy mood. I don't want pink today, though. What color do I want? Light blue? Light blue. 3 feet? 36. 7,500 meters? 7.5. 2 miles. Oh, look at this. You guys are brilliant. 4.7 centimeters. 47. 7,650. 76.5. Do I need that last zero? No, of course not. G. H. 7.2. This is my favorite one. I went on a 7.2 kilometer run yesterday. You mean you ran 720,000 centimeters? I love metric. Now, these ones are a little harder. Why? How many right answers could I write there? It's metric. There's a ton of answers. Because isn't it 35 millimeters? So that's the only way I should be able to write it, yeah? But if I didn't have millimeters there, wait, let's use my virtual liquid paper. Now what could you write there?
Nanometers?
You could write 0.0035 nanometers, couldn't you? And so on, or no, nanometers the other way around. 3,500 nanometers, couldn't you? Excellent, good. Because in metric, it always works. What's B? I got to go back to my light blue. What's B? 122. What's C? 5,580. D? E? F? 5,320. Thank you for not saying 5320, because that's not a number. That's, yeah. 5320 is how much you pay for something. G? H? 312 again. Now we get to some real fun. Do I tell you what to do? So, could you put 260 centimeters? Could you put 2.6 meters? Could you put 0.26 decameters? Could you put 0.026 hectometers? Could you put 0.0026 kilometers? And if you did that, I would go, quiet, wise ass. It's one of those two, right? Right. But you could do all of them. What about this one? 5,008 meters or 5.008 kilometers. Now, I just noticed today that there should be right here, perform the following calculations in imperial. It did not print. So hopefully you all recognize that when I said metric, you kept it metric. So here you hopefully kept it imperial. Yes?
Yes.
I mean, no, I did it at imperial, for example.
I know.
You expect me to do that.
It's a printing error because I don't do the printing. Other people do the printing. So this one is, of course, 2 miles, 10,560, plus 3,000, plus 4,000 is, of course, 17,560 feet. And this one should be... Now, why did I go to the effort of reminding you how to add fractions? Because technically, what is 12 feet, 8 inches? It's technically 12 and 8 twelfths, yes? Plus 10 and 7 twelfths. So you could add the fractions. Now, you could also go 12 plus 10, which is 22, 8 plus 7, which is 1 foot 3 inches, and then the 1 foot would go there to get 23 feet 3 inches. Do I care how you do these? No. That is what matters. Everybody cool? Now, one sec, Suwani. I apologize that the instructions were not there. If any of you did a crap ton of extra work, I do apologize to you. Suhani, go. In inches, it would be 23 times 12, which is 240, 276, 279.
No, I don't
Yep. Either way. I apologize again. There should be... What probably happened there is when I cut and pasted from my old book, I only highlighted the bottom part and I forgot to get the instructions. So this one is a subtraction one. You could go all the way into feet. You could have gone 25 feet minus 9 and 2, 11 feet to get 14 feet. Or 4 yards, 2 feet. Something like that. I don't really care. Everybody cool? All right. This one is 6 feet minus 3 feet is 3 feet. 3 feet 4 inches. 3 feet minus 7 more. 2 feet 5 inches. This one is 9,560 feet. And that one is 9 feet, 8 feet, 2 inches. Gouda? Nobody is Swiss? Get it? Gouda, Swiss. Swiss cheese has holes in it. If you don't get it, you're Swiss. Yes. Sure. If you were going to answer this in inches, it would have been 98. If you're going to answer that in inches, it would be a really gigantic number, so don't. Miles, that would have been 1 mile and 4,280 feet. Now, was yours as hard to read as mine? It didn't copy very well. So it's 10 inches of ribbon out of 5 yards of fabric. So what do I got to do? Sean, make the yards into inches, which is 5 times what? You don't have to have it memorized. You can look on your chart. 5 times what? 36, which is 180. What do I do with that 180? Divide by 5, and what do I get? Divided by 10. 18. And the airline. I put this in because I always am taking a trip, and I hate airlines because they're mean about your luggage. Although when I flew to Ecuador, they allowed me to take 2 bags and a carry-on for free per person, which you think is awesome, and then you pack all those bags like, yeah, I have all these bags, I don't need to worry, I can take everything I want, until you got to move it through the airport. Then it sucks. Then you realize, damn it, I should have only brought 1 small carry-on anyways. But I didn't. I brought a ton of suitcases. Anyway, carry on. What do I have to do with these numbers? Change them to what? Inches. So what's that guy? 27. What's this guy? 24. What's this guy? 16. What do I do with those 3 numbers? Add them up. And what do I get? 67. Is that plane letting me on? No, they're going to charge me approximately as much as a kidney to get that.
How would you know how much a kidney is?
Kidneys cost $25,000 on the black market.
Why would you know that?
Because it's the type of thing I like to learn. Because, no, there is a market for selling kidneys because you don't need 2. There are people that will sell their kidney to somebody who needs a kidney, and there are countries in the world that will do that surgery. And you can sell it for $25,000. Yeah, donated. Because in North America, it has to be a donation. But there's ways around that too, right? Same thing with surrogacy. You're not technically supposed to pay somebody to be your surrogate in North America, but there's ways around that. But there are countries in the world that don't care, and they'll let you do that. And some people argue that you should be allowed to do that, and some people argue that you shouldn't. If I give away one of my kidneys, so I only have one here, I sell it, and then I get sick, what should happen to me? Take it back? Like that movie Body Parts? Have you guys ever seen that movie? It's such a piece of crap. A killer gets his body, he's killed, like executed, and then all his body parts are transplanted onto other people, like even his hand and stuff, and then they all turn into killers. I know, it's stupid. But it was a movie. It's a good idea. Don't get me wrong, Ashley. I like the idea. In what? In what show? Oh, I tried to watch Scream Queens.
Mostly the first season was good.
I tried to watch it, and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
I couldn't get into that movie or show, and it sounds like I made the right
The
decision.
first season was good, but the second season was so bad. I couldn't get through it. I couldn't either. I couldn't finish it. It was so bad. I've never been able to not finish something, but I just couldn't do it.
Then I got me another length of wire. which is 1 yard, 36, plus 1 foot, 12, plus 8, which is 56. Right? So right now, how long is that if they were just touching? You'd add it up and it'd be 83. But if I do this, now how long is it? What is it, Thomas? 81. Why? They both lose an inch. All of you remember grade 9 when you're doing surface area, you subtract 2 overlaps. Dun, dun, dun. To quote the Minions. Not the Minions. We did this yesterday. It was this class that we talked about it. The Croods. It's Belt from the Croods. Belt. The little thing that the guy puts on as a belt. The rope. Oh, it was another class then. All you kids look the same to me. I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. Everybody relax. You can relax. All right. So when you turn over onto page 22, we move on to the new thing, which is converting between systems. Somebody always says, Mr. Myers, you didn't leave any room to teach us anything. You're right, I didn't, because I've already taught you everything you need to know. In math, if something happens once, how often does it happen? Always. Because math doesn't mess with your heads. Math is your friend. Math does not say one thing to Toy and then turn around and say something else to Sophie. Sophie. I was right the first time. Yeah. Math doesn't do that. Math is honest and true. It is not two-faced. You don't need to say anything bad about math on social media. But since you already know how to do this, you know that when you are converting within the same system, you take a value and you multiply it by what you want over what you have. Now, if that works within systems once, and it worked more than once, it worked on the last 3 pages we did, that means it's going to work forever. And it works the same here. The only difference is the numbers aren't pretty anymore. Okay? It's not moving a decimal. It's not 12, 36, 60. It's not nice numbers. Because when you look on your chart, all the numbers have what when you're going between the two? Decimals. So now you're not doing it in your head anymore. You've got to get out the calculator. All right? But nothing changes. So this first question says, I got a bowling alley. It's 19 meters long. How long is it to the nearest foot? What do I start with? 19 meters. Keeping the color coding working for us. What do I want? I want feet. So feet's in the numerator. What do I got? Meters. So meters is in the denominator. Now I got to put in the numbers. Where do I get the numbers? From the chart. Where's the 1? 1's with the foot. What's with the meters? Tricky. Look closely. It's not there, is it? What is there? Meters to feet to centimeters. But you know that 30.48 centimeters, because we just did a whole 3 pages on converting within systems. How many meters is that? Nope. 0.3048 meters. So if 1 foot equals 30.48 centimeters, and 30.48 centimeters equals 0.3048 meters, then what can I do with this in the middle here? Get rid of it. Because 1 foot must equal 0.3048 meters. So what do I write right there? 0.3048. Now, the 1 is on the top. Do I care about the 1 in this particular bit of proportional reasoning ever? No, so the 1 disappears, and I'm left with 19 what? Times? 19 is in the numerator here. So it's 19 divided by 0.3048. And what does that give me? To the nearest foot. 62 feet. Nine. Delete. Back. Delete. 19 divided by 0.3048. 62.3. 62. Is everybody good? Now remember, as we move into grade 10, we are no longer just doing math. We are making decisions about what math we need to do. Everybody understand? In grade 9, your question said, do this. In grade 10, your questions say, find this. Right? There's a difference. So in number 2 here, I got all kinds of numbers floating around there. The question, though, is who drove further? Hannah is American. Her car measures miles. Farron is Canadian. His car measures kilometers. How many conversions do I have to do to know who drove further? Only one. Does it matter which one I do? No. So if I was going to convert Hannah, it would be 62 times, what do I want? km over miles. But if I was converting Farron, it would be 98. What do I want? Miles over km. Where does the 1 go? Look on your chart. Where does the 1 go? With miles or kilometers? Miles. 1, 1.609. 1, 1.609. In this one, in blue, is it a multiply or divide? Multiply. In red, is it a multiply or divide? Divide. Numerator, where the 1 is, doesn't matter. So, everybody figured out who drove further. But Farron drove 98 kilometers. Oh, I see what you're saying. But Fahrenheit was actually the dude's name that invented the scale. It was his name, like John Fahrenheit. Just like the guy that invented Celsius. That was his name as well. I don't know. But I know the guy that invented the Kelvin scale, which is the worst thing for measuring temperature as far as I'm concerned. Kelvin. In the Kelvin scale, absolute zero, negative 273 degrees Celsius, when atoms stop vibrating, he calls that zero because there is no movement of the atoms, therefore there can't be any heat. My argument is you shouldn't ever have an absolute if you can avoid it because you never know what might come along later. So I don't like Kelvin. I'm not a big fan of it. But I really hate Fahrenheit. That's really stupid. I'm a Celsius man. Because Fahrenheit has stupid numbers, like water boils at 212 degrees and water freezes at 32 degrees. But then, at negative 40, they catch up to each other. Negative 40 Celsius and negative 40 Fahrenheit are the exact same temperature. Everyone, that's math, dude. Negative 40, if it's minus 40 in Flin Flon, Manitoba, and you cross the border into South Dakota, it's still minus 40. Only then. Every other time the temperatures are different. Anyways, who drove further? Hannah, because how far did Hannah drive? 99.7 km. So right away you know Hannah drove further. If you went the other way, it was 98 divided by 1.609, which is something like 63. I don't remember. Everybody good? Excellent. Number 3. This is a real life thing. They will ask you your height in centimeters when you go get your license, but you don't have to know because they got a little chart right beside it. How are you going to convert this? You have lots of options. Give me one. What do you have to convert? Feet and inches to centimeters. So, could you go feet to centimeters? Yes. And then could you go inches to centimeters? And then what would you do with those two numbers? Add them. What is something else you could do? McKenna. Yeah, both of them would work. You could say this is 6 2/12 of a foot and convert that all to centimeters. Or you could say this is 72 inches plus 2 inches to get 74 and convert that. Please notice, even in this very first unit, where we are doing the easiest math we can possibly do, which is add, subtract, multiply, or divide once, right? You still have options. Please notice the difference between previous math and now. You always have options in grade 10 and further. There is no one right way to do this, which sometimes makes it a little difficult for those of you that have been getting good grades in math because you're really good at following a set path. Does everybody understand? All right. So what's that one going to be? 74 times. I go to my chart. I want centimeters. I have inches. Where does the 1 go? With the inches. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Is this a multiply or divide situation? Multiply. 74 times 2.54 to get whatever the answer is. 180? 187.96. So what would you tell me that guy's height really is? 188. Everybody cool? All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all there is to it. Now, I would like for you, I'm going to shut up because I want to make sure you get a lot of time to do your work today. I was looking at Brittany when I said that. That's why it was funny. You're going to work on up to 25. Now, you will notice I have moved your quiz to Thursday. This is because I want to make sure we go over this before I give you a quiz on it to make sure everybody's on the same page. What? You're not going to be here Thursday because you're going to Bard on the Beach?
No, I may not be here because I'm on the football game.
Yeah.
I don't know what time it is.
That's cool. Okay? If you miss a quiz, what is your job? Get here and do it. When am I here that is not class that you can do quizzes? Lunches? When else? After school. When else? Before school. What days? Every day. Except?
Saturday and Sunday.
And one more. There's one of those three options that I am not here. Friday. I am not going to be here after. When? After school, before school, or lunch? After. Why? Because weekend.
Because you want to do your cool things.
I don't think anybody would stay after school on Friday.
You know what? You would think that, but every so often I get kids, can I write it tomorrow on a Thursday? Tomorrow is Friday after school. You want to write Friday after school? Yeah. No. Or sometimes, Sophie, I will say, fine, I'll stay. And then the punk doesn't show up.
Oh, that's just mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace. I'm not dead, Sean. Holy. All right. Everybody go.